Hey, thanks everyone for stopping by the channel. I just wanted to do a quick video about it. An issue that's been ongoing that I've been having where I'll just be having my computer run throughout the day, whether I'm just leaving it running with nothing going on, or I've left Firefox open with maybe some video tabs open with some videos, and not doing much, not gaming at least throughout the day, especially when I'm working my day job, which I do work at home. So sometimes I leave the computer open for when I take breaks or lunches, and I just want to kind of jump on the computer to watch some videos. And when I do go back to the machine just randomly, I either won't be able to wake it up, so I either don't get any video from the display, or I'll either get that issue, or I can get the machine to kind of wake up, or let's say if it was still awake, it would just be frozen in an aspect where you try to open up applications and you couldn't quit them. It would just fully just freeze on you. You'd still see the icon on the bottom of the taskbar, and you would just be forced to have to kind of restart the whole machine, because even going to the Windows logo and trying to restart the machine would be either not visible or nothing would actually happen. Windows, at least the operating system, wouldn't respond to you trying to restart it or even shut it down. So you're forced to do a hard restart on the machine, which we all don't like to do, but it has been the necessity of the situation. You just kind of have to go forward and do it, which makes any kind of IT professional or anyone who kind of builds machines always nervous. But regardless, that's kind of what you're left with when the machine kind of freezes. And this was kind of happening a couple of times a day, and nothing that would kind of make sense. And one that I kind of started having was I would see that my NZXT Kraken Z73, the display would be frozen, which would make sense if the software or the operating system was frozen. And I was thinking, well, is it possible something with that was freezing? It would freeze first, and then it would cause just the whole machine to freeze. And like most of us, we would get to go into Google to start searching for if anyone else is having an issue, obviously trying to take what people post online with a grain of salt, or just obviously just want to be careful because you don't know the expertise of anyone. But you'd start seeing at least posts on Reddit. Usually it's kind of where I start looking first, just to see people describing situations, which is it a similar situation. Trying to get a little bit more specific with my searching about the fact that I have an AMD Ryzen 5 5600X, and this is being my first AMD build, I think, ever. Usually I've been sticking with Intel in the past, but it's my first AMD build, and I figured there's probably some compatibility issue with maybe the CAM software. Lo and behold, you start doing some with the Google searching, you start seeing a lot of posts about NZXT possible cause for freezing the machine, new CPU motherboard freezing issue, or apps keep crashing. Something that would relate to like the CAM app was the problem, and there was really no kind of solution. You start reading through, one post would be, I discovered the NZXT CAM can cause your PC to freeze, especially on AMD builds. And a solution was to just disable the NZXT CAM from startup in software settings, just to, boot up the machine, open it up, run it, but then quit it shortly after. It was another suggestion, which is something I started doing. The problem with doing something like that is when you run kind of like a hardware monitor app, like I've got the CPU ID hardware monitor app, just to kind of observe the fan speeds and the pump speed. And the problem when you quit the CAM software is that it stops the RPM at wherever you close the application, which depending on if you're gaming or you're doing anything that would require the pump to kind of speed up to cool down the CPU, it possibly wouldn't go up to the right speed that it needs to be at. Being that I don't want to be using my machine without a pump and a fan curve when I'm increasing any kind of usage on the machine, especially gaming, I need to go kind of back to the drawing board, and there was a suggestion to uninstall the current public cam version and to try out the beta cam software instead. Initially, before the current beta release, I tried that and actually did not resolve my issue, but thankfully I waited before I went to try to go find another application to deal with the fan and pump curve, or to be able to have something to take over the ability for the fan and the pump to kind of go up and down in RPM whenever I'm increasing any of the usage, which I would say everyone kind of gets what I'm talking about. But when I went to go look at maybe to see if there's any kind of new version of the beta, just to give it one last ditch effort, saw that there was a post from NZXT that there is a current fix or bug fix with the latest beta version of CAM, where it's implemented a potential fix to the CAM freezing issues related to AMD CPUs being reported by many users involving a conflict with other running applications, which seemed like a very promising step. And to try that out, I made sure to actually left the current NZXT cam public version on the machine. I just made sure to not have it start up when the machine booted up, and actually installed the latest beta version of cam. And so far I've had about 2 days of no issues, no freezing, been running pretty smoothly. And just maybe to kind of cover this real quick, you can go to nzxt.com/software/cam, and towards the bottom you'll see a beta tester download, and kind of do that. And the 4.30.0 beta release is the version that seems to resolve this issue with AMD CPUs freezing with the cam software. And yeah, hopefully this is helpful, and definitely like and subscribe to the channel and video. It helps me get discovered a little bit better, and hopefully I don't have any kind of more issues with the machine, but I definitely will make any videos about anything I run into that might be helpful for anyone else that's running the same issues. But yeah, anyways, catch you next time.